What is going on when it comes to the internet computer? Well, it seems like the founder of Dfinity is a little bit curious. I'm not joking. And let me explain what I mean by that in today's video, even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything. It's just my personal perspective, opinion, and mindset, and nothing I say is financial advice. Now, if I take a look at it, Dominic Williams, who again is the founder of Dfinity, recently made a poll when it comes to X. And what is he even curious about? He's wondering if multi-dex, which is the upcoming DEX when it comes to Dfinity, basically their exchange that's decentralized again, he's wondering whether or not the name of it should be multi-dex in all capital letters or multi-dex with like M, the first letter being capital and then the rest being lowercase. He's literally wondering which should be the case. Which people like to say, what the, like, why is that even a big deal? Well, we got to think about this. Companies like Apple, like Amazon, like Adidas, like Nike, they do a lot of testing. They wonder, hey, you know what? Could this work? Could this not work? Whatever, right? So basically, if I take a look at, in this case, it's a little bit no different. And the fact that Dominic Williams even cares about this showcases how seriously he's treating multi-dex. Now, people like to say, well, again, why does it really matter if it's either all uppercase or just kind of basically somewhat all lowercase with the first letter being capitalized? Like, why does it matter? Well, it's because the way we read something could be different depending on whether or not it's lowercase or uppercase. It's like, for instance, imagine if our friend said, hey, can you get down now? Like, let's say they want to pick us up or something like that. Now, if it's like primarily all lowercase, our mindset is, oh, wow, seems pretty positive, right? But imagine if they said, hey, can you get down now? And then it's like all massive like letters, like it's all uppercase. The way we interpret that seems to be a little bit more kind of, intense, right? So I think Dominic Williams is wondering whether or not to kind of have it all uppercase or just not have that to be the case, have it just lowercase with the first letter, which is M, be capitalized and then the rest being lowercase. Now, initially, I thought that it was going to be all uppercase because that was what was announced, basically. But now it seems like Dominic Williams is starting to realize that, maybe that might not be the best idea, which I agree with if, let's say, he thinks that way. And if, let's say, he does eventually change it to like more lowercase, because I don't really like it if it's all uppercase. I want it to be multi-dex, make it quite simple, right? M, make it capitalized, the rest just lowercase. Why not? Keep in mind, multi-dex is going to be competing directly once it finally does launch. It's going to be competing with Pancake and many others. I don't see many dexes out there with all uppercase like that. It's very unusual when it comes to this space. So again, I don't know why that was kind of the initial plan, but good thing they're trying to change it, so I do like seeing that. Now, in other news, actually, the internet computer achieved something pretty impressive today. Did you know that it actually saw over 99 million transactions in a single day, the highest in the past week? Wow, that's pretty impressive. And if we take a look at that right there, in just one single day, the internet computer had nearly 100 million transactions. That showcases activity. It showcases that things are going on. And this is actually being reported by something called ChainSpect. So it's pretty impressive seeing that actually when it comes to the internet computer. I think some people didn't really expect that, but that seems to be what's going on. So when I take a look at that combination right there, Dominic Williams caring so much about multi-dex, and then also on top of that, the internet computer, basically recording such a massive day, right? In a sense where they achieve something that impressive, it showcases that things are still cooking, things are still going on behind the scenes. It's not like there's nothing going on. Now, when it comes to multi-dex, I think it's important to keep in mind that we already saw the play mode, basically the testing mode. So we already see the testing mode when it comes to multi-dex. We're just waiting for the full-on launch, but naturally, of course, before they fully launch it, they're going to want to do a lot of testing. So naturally, Dominic Williams, he's wondering, right? Multi-dex, all uppercase or not all uppercase? Have it just M capitalized and then the rest being lowercase. I think it's actually pretty impressive, and it showcases the attention to detail that they even care about. Other projects out there, they won't care about this type of stuff. But Dominic Williams does. And Dfinity, it's not like they really need multi-dex anyways. They already have Caffeine AI version 3. There's already OIC version 2.5. They're already looking to fully launch cloud engines. So multi-dex is just a small piece in their puzzle, if that kind of makes sense. But the fact that they care about that so much, it showcases the effort that they're putting in. So it's kind of no joke what they're really doing. And it's in 2026. Keep in mind, this isn't 2025 or 2024 when things were popping, right? That's not the case. It's 2026. The market is boring. A lot of people are leaving. A lot of projects are closing up shop. But guess what? Dfinity, they're saying, we're not going to do that. Hold up, right? We're not going to be doing that. We're going to continue to build. And I do like seeing that. And sure, the internet computer is still at around $2, but what can I do about it? And also at the same time, I have no sort of desire or need to exit anyways, so I'm just still waiting. I'm still holding, but nonetheless, seeing news and updates when it comes to the internet computer, that's the only thing I can focus on as of right now. I can't wave some magic wand and demand this or that to happen. There's no way I could do that. But in the meantime, long story short, what's going on when it comes to the internet computer? Dominic Williams, he seems a little bit curious. He wants to know more so about the lettering and capitalization of the upcoming DEX, which is multi-DEX. And then also on top of that, the internet computer recently recorded almost 100 million transactions in just a single day. So that's kind of legendary. Personally, at least that's my perspective. And again, when I take a look at the internet computer being at around $2, personally for me, I mean, people like to say, well, what happens if this goes lower? Well, in theory it could, but it's only 16 cents. I'm not joking. It's literally 16 cents above its all-time low. Its all-time low is $1.98. It's not like the all-time low is, $1.50 or something like that. No. We're literally so close to the all-time low. I think sometimes people ignore this, but it's actually so close. In which case, it means that it's hypothetically a lot closer to its historical floor than its ceiling, right? That's just the way you take a look at it. And if I take a look at it as well, people like to say, well, the internet computer, what happens if it never becomes as massive as Solana or an Ethereum or something like that? Well, to me, it doesn't really need to be that massive. The reason why I say that is because if I take a look at, let's say, in the case of the internet computer, what was the price back in December of 2024, right? Now, at that point, it was almost $15. So we're over 7 times lower than that. If it could just go back there, I'm already going to Sizzler. I'm already dancing. The reason why is because we're literally over 7 times lower than that. At that point in time, like when the internet computer was almost at $15, was it bigger than Solana, Ethereum? No, it wasn't. So if anything, it showcases that the internet computer just returning back to a previous point already seems a little bit legendary, and it doesn't even need to ever overtake any of the massive players within this space. It doesn't really need to ever do that. It's already pretty impressive if it could even return back to that. Again, almost $15, which is what it achieved at one point in December 2024. Now, could it go back there? I have no idea. I can't control this. And also on top of that, when will it do that? I mean, I can't control it either. But it wouldn't surprise me if it maybe one day, who knows, right, hypothetically did go back there, just because we saw it before already, and the internet computer wasn't even that good anyways back then comparatively to right now. It just isn't. I mean, I didn't see OEC version 2.5, Caffeine AI version 3. I didn't see cloud engines being so close to launching in terms of the full-on launch. I didn't see them announcing multi-dex back then. This stuff I didn't see back then. It just didn't exist, back then, right? So when I take a look at the internet computer, I just think it's a lot better right now. So why can't it go back there? It's better, but the market isn't doing the best. But what requires the market changing? Well, that's beyond my control, but sometimes for me, it's just kind of like waiting. I've never seen a permanent bear market ever, so, I'm just going to wait. Now, I don't know when things could recover, and even if they ever could, I have no idea. But one thing I can control is myself, and I'm just going to wait, that's it. But nonetheless, seeing the updates when it comes to the internet computer as of late, I'm pretty impressed. And again, maybe let me know in the comment section below, do you prefer multi-dex all capitalized or not? I personally prefer it not to be all capitalized, but yeah, we'll wait and see what they do, and we'll wait and see the full results later of this poll that he has going on when it comes to a post that he made on X. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. But besides that point, I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very wonderful day.